Hello, welcome to my student support system. In today's class, we will discuss about urinary stones. This lecture is in English, and if you want to study in Hindi, just click on I button and you will get link of Hindi lecture. Or you can directly visit to channel my student support system and watch this video in Hindi. So what is urolithiasis? This is a special term in examination you may find that write short note on urolithiasis. So urolithiasis or urinary stones are same term. Urolithiasis and nephrolithiasis refers to the stone or calculi in urinary tract. Stones may be formed anywhere in urinary tract. It may be in the kidney, here, maybe in ureter and in bladder as well. Causative factors of urinary stone. Causes of stone formation in the urinary tract is not clearly understood, and there are a number of theories about their causes. One theory is that there is deficiency of substances that normally prevent crystallization in urine, such as citrate, magnesium, nephrocalcinin and uropontin. Another theory relates to the fluid volume status of the patient. As per this theory, chances of stone formation are increased in the person with low fluid intake. Stones may also be formed in the urinary tract when urinary concentration of the substances such as calcium oxalate, calcium phosphate and uric acid increases. Other factors which favor the formation of stone include infection of the urinary tract, urinary stasis and periods of immobility, means sedentary life, and all factors which slow the renal drainage and alter calcium metabolism. They all can aid in the formation of stones. Uric acid stones, which are 5 to 10% of all stones, may be seen in the patient with gout or myeloproliferative disorders. Urinary stone formation can occur in the patients with inflammatory bowel disease and in those with ileostomy or bowel resection surgeries because these patients absorb more oxalate. Some medications may cause stones in the patient such as antacids, acetazolamide, vitamin D, laxatives and high dosage of aspirin. Clinical manifestations. How you will know that the client may have urinary stone? Signs and symptoms of stone in urinary system depend on the presence of obstruction, means how much obstruction is there, level of infection and edema. Stones in renal pelvis may be associated with intense deep ache in the costovertebral region, or we can say flank area. We can also call it flank pain. Hematuria means blood in the urine may be present, and pyuria may also occur. Pyuria means pus in the urine. Tenderness over the costovertebral area, diarrhea and abdominal discomfort may occur. Stones lodged in ureter means and can cause urethral obstruction. Then acute excruciating and colicky wave-like pain occurs. Stone lodged in the bladder usually produces symptom of irritation, burning pain during micturition and may be associated with urinary tract infections and hematuria. Then diagnostic investigation. So first, history and physical examination and presence of these clinical manifestations will give a clue about urinary stones. Then for definitive diagnosis, we go for X-ray, that is KUB, kidney, ureter and bladder, ultrasound, IV urography, retrograde pylography, and urine routine examination as well as complete blood count. These tests can be performed. Treatment. Medical management. The immediate objective of treatment of renal and ureteral colic, that is pain, is to relieve the pain until its cause can be eliminated. Non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, that is NSAIDs, are effective in treating renal stone pain and reducing the swelling, which facilitates the passage of stone with the urine flow. Hot bath and moist heat in the flank area may also be helpful. Fluids are increased. When the client drinks more fluid, then the urine flow will be increased. Hydrostatic pressure behind the stone is increased and it will facilitate downward passage of the stones through urine. If stone does not pass spontaneously or if complications occur, common interventions include endoscopic or other procedures. For example, ureteroscopy, extracorporeal shock wave lithotripsy, or endourologic, means percutaneous stone removal may be necessary. These are special procedures. Surgery may be done, but it is rarely needed. By these procedures, we can remove the stones. Nursing management. Proper assessment is done by taking health history and physical examination, and nursing care plan is prepared. Pain assessment is very important in assessment of patients with urinary stones. Opioid analgesics and may be prescribed by the doctor and administered to provide rapid relief along with NSAIDs. The patient is encouraged and assisted to assume a position of comfort because different patients assume different position to relieve the pain. So that is okay. We should assist them. If the activity brings pain relief, the patient may be assisted to ambulate. Increased fluid intake is encouraged to prevent dehydration and as well as to increase the hydrostatic pressure within the urinary tract to promote passage of the stones. All urine which is voided during the treatment should be strained through the gauze because uric acid stones may crumble and sand-like appearance that we can find in the urine. So we can find out, yes, it has passed. Any blood clot which is passed with the urine should be crushed to the side of the urinal or kidney tray or bedpan and inspected for the stones. There is stone or not. Patient with calculi or stones require frequent nursing observation to detect the spontaneous passage of stone. Vital signs including temperature are monitored closely to detect early sign of infection. Urinary tract infection may be associated with renal stones due to obstruction from the stone. The risk of recurring renal stone is very high, so nurses provide health education about the cause of kidney stone and the methods to prevent the reoccurrence. If lithotripsy, percutaneous stone removal, ureteroscopy or other surgical procedures are advised, then proper pre and post procedure or pre and post operative care should be provided. Patient is closely monitored for complications and during discharge planning, the patient is instructed to take medications as prescribed and return for follow-up if needed. Thank you students for watching this video. You can subscribe the channel for latest updates. You can like Facebook page also, and for making your notes, don't forget to visit mynursingstudents.blogspot.com. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram and join Facebook group Nursing Notes. Thank you. Have a nice day.